I greet those who are here in the sanctuary at the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful Kingston, Jamaica, on an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous morning. The golden sun is shining. The flowers are showing all various colors, pink and white and purple and lots of colors. It's really a beautiful morning. And I see beautiful souls in front of me. And I know that all those who are online have beauty too in their hearts. All things begin at this Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living with prayer. So please join me in an opening affirmative prayer of thanksgiving. We go within and we realize afresh that God is all there is, that there is nothing but God. We know that God's universal mind is the mind that we are using right now. And the love of God is what we feel as we think loving thoughts, as we think thoughts of abundance, as we think thoughts of peace and calm and gentleness, as we think thoughts of prosperity, and above all, as we think thoughts and speak words of love. And all those blessings of God are present here in this service this Sunday morning. We feel peace and joy and abundance, and we feel love. And that love fills us from the soles of our feet to the crowns of our head and spills over into the atmosphere and influences all those around and influences, in fact, the entire cosmos. Because we know that we are one with the one. And everything is the one. Everything is God. I know this, I believe this, and I give thanks for God's presence in this service here this morning. God is blessing us sitting in the sanctuary. God is blessing all those who are online. In fact, God is blessing all those who are open and receptive to its blessing. This is the truth. I release my words into the law of mind, giving thanks that as I have spoken, it is so. And so it is. So it is. Our chant is Gentle Peace. It's found on page 2 of your program, and it's also online. Let us sing Gentle Peace. There is peace in my soul. There is peace, I am whole. It is God here in me. This is my reality. Gentleness is not weak. It allows the still small voice to let us absorb those words and music by practitioner Steve Golding for a few moments of silence. Gentle peace is how I grow. Let us now affirm together the affirmation of divine love. Again, it is on the screen, and it is in the center of page 2 in your program. Together, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. So it is. It's now time for the affirmative reading. And that affirmative reading comes from a book by Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, one of our luminaries in New Thought. He has a book, The Art of Uncertainty, and this extract is from the book, and it's titled, Have a Vision for Your Life and Follow It. Some very wise words, I'm sure you'll agree. They read, a vision of a life worth living will include ongoing opportunities for you to serve others and the world in ways that make the world a better place for all beings and creatures. Living in your true vision will also bring passion and joy to your life that will naturally and effortlessly spill into the lives of others. When you are living your vision, you will be led to do work where your God-given talents and skills are utilized and where time seems to pass very quickly. A true vision will always call you to higher ground and cause you to seek to be part of something larger than yourself. Perhaps more than anything else, having a vision of a life worth living will cause you to grow on an ongoing basis. Your vision as reality will require definite action that may cause a few stretch marks. Stretch marks are caused by growth. A person living a vision-led life must be not only open to, but in constant search of growth. There is no growth at the center of your comfort zone. You already know you have to come to the edge and to lean over into the unknown if you want to grow. Living in uncertainty is not the issue. It comes with the territory. However, holding a clear intention for a life worth living and pursuing it is. So the question is, what is your vision for your life? What do you stand for? And are you willing to grow into that vision? Begin to use your inner eye, commingling your mind and heart, and you will see the possibilities of life you have never known before. Then Dr. Dennis Merrick Jones tells us, then pay attention to your intention and follow your vision. Very wise words.
Amen.
We will now have the praise song, You Can Smile. On page 3,
You can smile when you can't say a word. You can smile, though you cannot be heard. You can smile, be it cloudy or fair. You can smile anytime, anywhere. You can sing a new song on your way. You can sing a new song as you pray. You can sing a new song come what may. You can sing a new song every day. You can know, and your faith will show how you can know all that God would endow. You can know, oh, your mind will allow. You can know life abundance right now. You can need more of what you desire. You can be when you really aspire. You can be when your heart is on fire. You can be and fulfillment acquire.
Thank you. Please sit.
Amen.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. We now will have the prayer of our center. Please stand. The prayer of our center. It's in a flyer in the program and on your screen. The prayer of our center. Together?
The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God, and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is.
And now you may sit as I light the candle and we have the blessing of our children. The blessing of the children is found at the bottom of page 2, and it is on your screen. Together?
We love you. We appreciate you.
We salute the
the Christ in you.
We
And we
see
see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now.
And so it is. And now we're going to have one of the highlights of the service, the Temple of Light mission song with words and music by our former musical director, Mr. Noel Dexter, Maestro Noel Dexter. Temple of Light mission song.
The Temple of Light, the Temple of Light, the Temple of Light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit, on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The Temple of Light, the Temple of Light, the Temple of Light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit, on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
Yay! Yay, as Reverend John would say. Yay! Beautiful, beautiful chant, our mission song. It is now time for our announcements. Announcements for today, Sunday, August 21, 2022. Do we have any first-time guests worshiping with us in person on this special day? If so, please stand. We're all family, I see. Excellent. Give yourselves a clap. All family. And if there are any newcomers online, we too welcome you to our hearts. We behold the Christ in you. Now here is our schedule for the near future. Wisdom Circle. Our Wisdom Circle will meet in the sanctuary at 10:30 this morning to continue the exploration of Tom Johnson's lessons from the source. Quiet moments in the garden continue. So join Reverend John Scott on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 a.m., 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, for a refreshing, insightful, early morning start to your day. Although Reverend John is on leave for the month of August, he will continue to facilitate quiet moments in the garden. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. online. Spiritual Mind Healing Service is on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on Facebook and Zoom platforms. The link is sent out from our mailing list, usually on the Tuesday. Prayer Power. This is an hour of communion on Thursday evenings, beginning at 6. And they come to you, these evenings, come to you via Zoom. The link is sent out on Thursday mornings from our mailing list. And here is a special event that is coming up. It's called RAPS, W-R-A-P-S. And the words spell out words, rhythms, and picnic sing-ting. And this is the 6th in the series of poetry, prose, and rhythms in the garden, our meditation gardens here at the Temple of Light. And it will be on Sunday 11th, September 11th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And you'll be happy to hear that tickets are now available. Contribution, $2,000 for adults and $1,000 for children. prayer supports. We continue to respond to all your requests for prayer. A practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following our Sunday service. On duty this Sunday today is Carol Charlton. The number, if you would like her support, is 876-289-0907. Repeating, 876-289-0907. And if you would like to speak to a minister, you may call the same number, 289-0907, Mondays to Fridays from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 midnight if you wish to speak to a minister and receive some spiritual mind treatments. Donations, tithes, and offerings. To financially support our ministry, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has all our banking details. We thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light in the entire world. This concludes our announcements. So now, please join us for our first hymn, Lord of the Universe. The words are in your program if you're in the sanctuary and on your screen if you're online. Lord of the Universe.
Lord of the universe, of all things great and small, supreme in heaven and on earth, indeed the Lord of all, we magnify thy name, as wonders we behold, and cherish in our human hearts thy glories manifold. Lord of the universe, yet one with every cell, thy love and great intelligence within all things doth dwell. Thou art in every star, in every stick and stone, and closer still within each heart. Thou art the Lord alone. Lord of the universe, the substance of all things, thou art the spirit and the life that makes our soul take wings. Let now our thoughts ascend to that celestial height, where love and peace and joy abound, along with truth and light.
Thank you.
Amen.
Please sit. And I'm suggesting that you settle back and you wait just a couple of moments, anticipating the effervescence, the ebullience, the scintillating Dr. Reverend Sonia Davidson, who is about to address you, not only with vim, vigor, and vitality, I assure you, but also with words of wisdom. Reverend Sonia, over to
Morning, morning, everyone. Boy,
Reverend
thank you
Sonia.
for that introduction, Reverend Michael. And if I wasn't feeling it, I feel it now. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such an honor to share it with my colleague minister this morning, Reverend Michael Reckord. Now, my topic this morning is boldly walking in the light of truth. Interestingly, I'm starting with a statement that I can say with certainty that there is none of us listening this morning who has never experienced fear. I can say this because fear is a biological fact. And any one of you who saw the little creature running across the floor this morning will know that sometimes the fear appears to be irrational. It may be even genetically imbued. Because I cannot understand why one little lizard could be the cause of such universal apprehension, right? There are few people who will not confess to being afraid of a lizard. I have a relative who will not come to my house because I have many pictures, and behind the pictures, lizards have taken sanctuary, so she won't come. Oh, Reverend Michael says, me too. I know, right? I could name some of the fears that I have. Some of them have become muted because as we go through life, and especially as we have learned how to walk boldly in the light of truth, they become muted, but there's always there behind somewhere. And we ask ourselves, is there anywhere in my life that fear is playing a dominant role at this time? Sometimes the answer may not be there because, as I say, fear is very subtle. It can hide anywhere in our subconscious mind. However, having said that fear is a biological fact, I want to point out that fear is important. It is important for many, many reasons, not the least of all, it has an important job to do, keeping us alive. Fear is our arousal system that sets off our alarms. It wakes us up, yes, to act. Without it, we might challenge dangerous animals, including people, or throw ourselves off cliffs. We might challenge ourselves to even feel pain. It is that which makes us be sensible in the body. Remember, I said it's a biological fact, it's not a spiritual fact. So, without fear, sometimes, we'd roll over in bed and go back to sleep when it's time for work. Yes, it is a protection instinct because the work needs to be done. Now, every feared situation occurs. Whenever it occurs, our brain automatically receives the message, sends it to our body, and we get an uncomfortable feeling, and we attempt to get away from danger. However, if the threat is so overwhelming, sometimes we freeze, we just freeze, we can't move. Or sometimes it might be overwhelming in a positive way when love, for example, or the need to take action is so strong that you forget about the fear. The body just is neutralized in that moment. I had that experience, I've shared it once long ago, when I, who was not a swimmer, jumped into the deep end of a pool, grabbed my niece and took her out. And after I came out, I started to tremble because I then remembered that I could not swim. So it works both ways. In some situations, the fear is just in the background so that we are not even admitting to it. But it sometimes prevents us from just going out and enjoying life to the fullest. I hear it is a lovely experience. I've been there once, to go down to Coronation Market and just experience the beauty of all the produce and all that sort of thing. I won't say that I am conscious of being afraid of going, but I have never tried to just discover the adventure of going back again, right? I know I can admit to one fear is one uncomfortable feeling. I've labeled it fear, is for heights. When I'm in very high places, I feel a very uncomfortable feeling in my body. And so I have decided that it is fear, although it does not come with an emotion of fear. But it doesn't make me feel good, so I don't experience it as much as I could. I don't mean climbing up into a mountain. I mean if I was into a very high place looking down. No. So, yes, fear can rob us of true enjoyment of life if we are too protective of this we call the body. Yes, the real adventure is out there to be experienced. But I ask myself, what if the earliest Homo sapiens, humans, the species that we belong to, of humanity that we belong to, what if it had remained in the little village in Africa instead of boldly facing what seemed to have been unknown threats? What if, having left and dared to travel, I had not dared to travel across the planet and spread across to enjoy the beauty of this wonderful planet? What if it was so terrified that it's not just face living in the unknown, experiencing the unknown, living in caves, weathering the ice age even? It had to take courage. What about the seafarers who struck out into deep waters and moved across the planet to discover unknown lands? You know, we ourselves are always, it doesn't matter how small the adventure, we are always experiencing new things and new experiences. And we do it sometimes without even realizing what we're doing. Just as the early ancestors found courage to go after distant goals without knowing for sure what they'd find, yes, so we have gone after distant experiences as we go through life. Remember, a child is born feeling so bold and adventurous. A child will try to walk even though falling down many times, and they will smile and think it's fun. And that's how we are programmed. We're born that way. I saw on the internet a little child who had not yet learned to walk, and that child was aiming for, in a high place, there was something the child wanted. I think it was a soother. And the child was able to climb and struggled to climb. And when the child reached that high place and got the soother, the laughter and the chuckling, somebody was taking the camera, so obviously somebody who was watching had great confidence in that child. And the joy with which that child chuckled when they achieved their goal. We ourselves, if we think back, we can find so many times when we have gone after something. This island is full of things to discover. All kind of beautiful, fantastic things. I am seeing most of them now on the internet, things I never knew before. But I know that when I was much younger, I actually thought it was such a wonderful, brave, and adventurous thing to climb the Duns River Falls. Can you imagine? How many of us have climbed the Duns River Falls? Quite a few. Those of you who haven't done it, take a trip just to challenge yourself, right? No, I am sure if we think back, there have been times, I can remember that particular time when I have overcome that potential for fear and did something beyond, what I would have done ordinarily. But I can also look back now. I had the opportunity to look back on a resume that I wrote for myself. It was in 2016. And I had not looked at it. Mind you, it had vision, mission. And I had not looked at it since I wrote it for a particular purpose. You remember what was read this morning about the vision, right? Get the vision and put it in front of you and let it push you, right? I had not looked at it. And when I looked at the vision, mind it was a little wordy because they say you really should be writing one line that you can remember and just have that embedded in your consciousness and walk with it and just have it everywhere. That's what Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones suggested. Have it there. Put it there so you can see it. He says marinate in it. Just like the vision for our church, he says marinate in it. I'm not going to embarrass us. No, I'm going to say how many of us know the vision of our church. I'm not going to ask you to recite it. 2 of us, 3 of us, okay? So make it your business to get the vision for your church. And he says, marinate yourself in it. Because in that way, you will be actually helping to participate in the mission and help to create the kind of church that you want to be a part of, the kind of church which he says he wants to leave for his grandchildren. I don't know if he has any yet, but he's thinking way ahead. He wants a place where his grandchildren can come. So we're going to marinate in it. Now, for ourselves, take a moment. I'm giving you a moment, whether here or online, and just think about when you think about yourself. What do you think is the biggest gift that you bring to this world? That which is so you. And when you think about you, it is you, you, you. Think about it for a second and allow yourself to clarify it. Later on this week, clarify it. Clarify it. Take it with you and work with it. Work with it because when fear comes in its subtle way and tells you, like it probably did to me, why I have 3 unpublished books, 2 of them already written, 1 fully edited, one with a wonderful title, which is a surprise. I'm not sharing it until it's out there, but I think it's a wonderful title which just fits me. Yes. Why? Was it because there was some subliminal fear of some sort why I had not gone ahead and done it? It could even be fear that it's too much work, or it can be any fear. I have not allowed it to surface, and I'm not even going to go there because I know how to deal. I don't even have to route out that fear. I'm going to make that fear, I'm going to recognize it, yes, that it exists, even if I don't know the specifics of it. I'm going to face it when it does surface. I'm not going to repress it. In fact, I'm going to meet it with interest and ask, not with embarrassment, shame, or any trepidation, just ask, where did that come from? It might have come from way back when, I'm told, for example, that if you look at the 10 top fears, some of you may have seen that, the 10 top fears that humans face. I think this one was done in North America, but it has been replicated elsewhere. Do you know what the top fear is for humans? Yes, public speaking specifically, yes. But also anything to do with interacting with people. So many people give themselves excuses for not,
interacting with people, right? Sometimes after church you run away and you don't make eye contact, or you don't want to go to a party because you don't like parties, you don't give all kinds of things. So the one that is uppermost is the one that has to do with interacting with people. Why? Because we are too caught up in what people think about us. And the same thing with public speaking, right? I can't feel afraid or anywhere in this church when I'm looking at all the beautiful faces, just wanting me to do well, right? Listening to me and sending me loving thoughts. Yeah, but I have to prepare myself still. But yet I know and feel comfortable. When you have a fear, what do you think is one of the most practical things to do? Do it anyway. Do it, right? Do it anyway. It's like swimming. I don't want it to be like how they taught my brother to swim, where they just tossed him into the deep end, and after several minutes of flattering around and flirting and so on, somebody decided to rescue him, right? I'd much rather it be that we learned a method to deal with it, a systematic method, and which we'll talk about later. But also we can use this fear as a propellant, an energy, right, which we will not even call it fear anymore. We call it an enthusiasm to get going and to do and to be and to follow our vision. And in that process, we are transformed by the renewing of our minds. So we can be a champion to things, a champion to the very things that we might be fearful about. So that we no longer have to just shrink away, but we find joy in going after making life a better place, so that the things which we hitherto would be afraid of. For example, I am thinking of how many of us who are aware that many young persons, I don't know how many, it may be fewer than we think, many young persons are resorting to crime, what we call crime. How many of us, well, I'm old enough to remember that so many young people were found in my household were not related to us. They would just come because a relative wanted to get them, to just live in a place where they could find love and whatever. We didn't question it. They were just there. Sometimes I ask, how many of us are aware that our helpers who work for us and leave our homes in the dark have children who are in this inner city being brought up by people who they think show them love, but they have to pay in advance for that so-called love that they're being shown. Can't we have these children come to our homes and stay there if the helper ever has to be late, and just be there in a home which is sheltered and protected? Maybe it's the only time they'll ever meet somebody who has that kind of layout, if you call your home a layout. We can do something about it. Act on it. Let what seem to be our fear of what's going on, let us act in a way to contribute to the transmuting of it. And we can strive to be anchored in spirit, because we know that we can sing the song, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Of whom shall I be afraid? Of whom shall I be afraid? The enemies in our own household," said the Master Jesus. And there's a passage from a book that was given to me by Reverend Maxine. It's from White Eagle's teaching, Jesus, Teacher and Healer. And I noticed I wrote out this passage in my journal, December 27, 2021. I'm not sure what was going on. It says, "You must allow the power within you to come into operation. In this way, you're opening yourself to the divine flow. Be not anxious. Just surrender yourself to the all-loving God. For all is love, and none of you need to fear life, either the life here or the life in spirit. There is nothing to fear at all. But despite all of what we know, all of our teachings, there are times when special times may challenge our arousal system. Our fear factor is heightened. We know that faith overcomes fear. So we say, have faith in our faith. Don't deny our faith by saying, I wish I had more faith. That is Norman Cousins. He said, I wish I had faith like so-and-so. I wish I could pray like so-and-so. We need to know that everything that we could ever want was planted in us at the time when the divine decided to come into manifestation as an expression of itself, as our unique self. And there are so many affirmations. I took some in the form of Psalms because they are readily available and easy to share with our friends that can boost us. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalm 46. Psalm 121, I lift up mine eyes unto the hills, my help cometh from the Lord, which has made heaven and earth. Psalm 27, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And remember, a man's enemies is in his own household. So these special times, I remember this word, I use it special times because I remember I was visiting our neighbor, Cuba. My daughter was in school there, and I had brought some food and other basic necessities for her. I spent 2 weeks in the dorm and had a lesson of a lifetime interacting with the students there. There were Cuban students mostly, and there were foreign students. Their living conditions were sparse. They had little other than the bare necessities. They walked or rode bicycles because cars were few and fuel was scarce. However, you would never have known that it mattered. They congregated in rooms and laughed and chatted amongst themselves and their foreign students, and they shared what little they had. The memory of the comment or question I posed to one of the students, that question has faded, but what has stuck in my mind is his response. He said, we are living through special times. He said it calmly, no anger, no sadness, no fear. Living through special times was his response. I may have asked him, I don't know. I may have asked him, how are they feeling about what's going on now? How are they coping? We are living through special times. I never heard another word other than that through the mouths of these students. There is an interesting related biblical story from, I have come upon it, right? It came upon it from a chapter in a book by Emily Cady called How I Use Truth. Reverend Ann and I have just finished teaching it, and I am suggesting that you download the book. It's available free, right, online. And it was the chapter that I am focusing on is trusting and resting. The story that I am focusing on is set in the biblical kingdom of Judah. The king at that time was Jehoshaphat. The news came to the king that an army, which was a coalition of armies of 3 and more countries, was advancing to attack his people. Now, this was a little kingdom, and Jehoshaphat didn't have much of an army. So he had no idea what to do to repel the attack. But he immediately knew he didn't know what to do to repel the attack, but he knew what he should do. So what? What do you think he did? He called all the people together, and they prayed, and they prayed. and they waited for an answer. They waited. Then the answer came through the high priest. Now, Jehoshaphat was a logical man. He was a thinker, right? And that was his solution at the time, right? But the high priest came to him, and he got the answer. He said, the voice of God said, "Be not afraid of this multitude, for the battle is not yours, but God's. O Judah, fear not, but go out against them. For the Lord will be with you. Ye shall not need to fight this battle. Say to yourself, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord with you." Stand still. How many times have we heard in this church, be still? Whenever we meet a challenge that seems overwhelming, what do? Become still. And if you notice it first, he prayed. He prayed until he got the message. But in that prayer came the stillness. So what did the king do? He was told to go out. Go out. He didn't question it. Go out. Can you imagine? You have a big army coming at you, and you just go. When you hear that still small voice, you just act. You are prompted to act. There's no fear. There's just quietness and stillness in you, and you go. Said, go out early in the morning. Sleep on it and go out fresh. And so they went out. And guess what he did? The king sent his little army out with a big band of singers. The congregation went out and they were singing and praising the Lord, making a huge noise. And guess what happened? The armies were hijacked. They were ambushed before they came because there was this huge noise. They were ambushed. And they never even had to fight. There was no fighting that was necessary. The message is clear. The enemy is of our own household. This band of persons, the armies that are coming at us, sometimes it's our own naysaying mind that says, no. The fear, that is a metaphor for our fears. And when we stand still and see the salvation of the Lord and know that the battle is not ours, because the law which is there, the law of God is there. The battle to be fought is not a physical battle, is one of peace and tranquility. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Lord is my strength, you can say. God is my assured victory. I will trust in God, and God will bring it to pass. God will bring it to pass. Friends, we know there are many things that this church offers us, opportunities to practice being still, to learn how to pray, to study and understand more about ourselves and about this self, the God self. We need to use up more of that time. There's a wonderful experience we call prayer power, and we have been meeting diligently for now 41 years next week. A small band of persons meeting quietly, learning how to listen to the still small voice and to obey it, and to be prompted to listen and to pray, to share anything that comes, because the practice of the silence is important. I am throwing it out to you that in your own room, in your own bedrooms, wherever you are, or with a group of persons of your choosing, or if you choose to come to prayer power, would be glad. It is important to have a time when you're neither praying, talking to God, praying, putting things into the law of mind, when we're neither listening to others, encourage us, but we are learning to be still, to stand still, and know Until then, we will begin to hear that voice as loud, right? They call it the thunder of the silence. We'll be able to hear and practice to know wherever we are and whatever we're doing, whatever situation we meet that may be fearful, there is always that still small voice that's directing us, that is telling us what to do, how to do, when to do, and we have no difficulty responding to it because we will recognize it as a voice of love. And Brandon Cox, pastor of Saddleback Church, gives us a nice little quote. And this is in response to the Perfect Love Casts Out Fear, 1 John 4:28. He says, you can be led by fear or you can be led by love. Choose which one. And I would love you to join me this week in clearing the way for a greater expression of joy, like the praise singers of Jehoshaphat's Judah. Sing out loud. Sing out strong. I challenge you to sing this little song from our childhood. I want you to sing it twice per day. And I want the chorus. Is Valerie there? I want to sing the chorus. We're going to sing it, and I'm going to ask you to sing it. You can find the YouTube version if you don't remember it. And I want you to sing it twice per day. Sing it, and you will see that everything that is in your uppermost mind that may be worrisome or any sadness that may be causing you to have muted fear come to take charge, you will watch in wonder and awe as unexpected and expected treasures appear. So let's sing it.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Again, because I know.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
You can sing it, and guess what? You will see, I promise you, you will see things begin to happen as your fears that you didn't even know you had are muted, and your life begins to take on something even greater than what you're experiencing now. I know, which is great. And I have an affirmation for you, which is God is my strength. God is my assured victory. I will trust God, and God will bring it to pass. I'm going to break it down. God is my strength.
God is my strength.
God is my assured victory.
God is my assured victory.
I will trust God.
I will trust God.
And God will bring it to pass.
And
God will bring it to pass. Thank you, Emily Cady. I am advising you, I am asking you to explore that wonderful book, How I Use Truth by Dr. Emily Cady. I am sure you will enjoy it, and your life will take on greater richness. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sonia. That was we could call it a multifaceted talk. We heard about the importance of fear. Its importance, it has a biological source, fear. And for that reason, it is useful. And so no doubt it is because we have that source of fear in us that the human race has thrived these hundreds of thousands of years. So we are afraid of things that we should be afraid of. Like dangerous animals, there's snakes and there's lions and there's tigers. And some of us have added lizards to that list. Not sure about that, unless you're talking about the giant lizards, but those we don't have in Jamaica. So fear is important and useful. You should not, though, let fear overshadow you. You should not let fear ruin your life. You should not let fear prevent you from enjoying life. And after asking a very important question, one that you should ask yourself, what is that special gift that you bring to this world? You should identify it and make it manifest. What is that special gift you have? Because we all have a special gift. Reverend Sonia went back to the matter of fear and said that one way of overcoming fear is through the use of prayer power. Prayer power. Now there's prayer power in a sort of generic sense. Prayer power is good. But she also has a program on a Thursdays, 6 o'clock. Prayer Power, which has been going for 41 years. That is absolutely amazing. It's as old as the church. 31. Beg pardon, 31 years. 31 years. I was wondering how it was as old. And then we got the song, Count Your Blessings, because that certainly is one way of overcoming fear. When you focus on your blessings, you will no longer be fearful. So thank you, Reverend Sonia. Let's give her another clap, please. Wonderful. And now we come to another highlight in the service. And today, I'd like to say that it is a special, special highlight. We have as one of our members, one of the really famous opera singers, one of the world's best-known opera singers, in the person of my good friend Dr. Curtis Watson. And Dr. Watson is now going to regale us with one of his many, many songs. Dr. Watson, sir, over to you.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom then shall I be afraid? Look here. Please stop. Please stop now. Please stop. Please stop that. This is insane. Kindly roll from the top, please. Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom then shall I be afraid? Though an host of men were laid against me, yet shall not my heart be afraid. And though there rose up war against me, yet will I put my trust in Him. For in the time of trouble He shall hide me in His tabernacle. Yea, in the secret places of His dwelling, He shall hide me and set me upon a rock of a stone. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom then shall I be afraid? Of whom then shall I be afraid?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Curtis. What a privilege we have here. Okay. Yes. Curtis, we thank you so much. We are so proud to have you as one of our members, not just a congregant. And you just gave us a masterpiece. And I thank you so much, right? You really inspired us. Thank you. Okay. Yes, this was just a message to remind us about a service that's going to be held, right? Okay, now let me get back to where I am. Okay, thank you. Prayer of Jamaica. We are going to do the prayer of Jamaica now, right? It's in a flyer and on the screen, huh? Okay. Okay. All right. Where is it? Okay, where is mine? Okay, there we are.
The radiant
Light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches.
The
Eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. And now we'll sing our second and last hymn, which is found on the flyer, a nice little song. All right.
In the twinkling.
In the twinkling of an eye, you can change the world of living. Your world responds to your command at the moment it is given. In a twinkling of an eye, a new thought can change your day. Just make your selection and change your direction. It's all in the way you pray. In a moment, God replies to the prayer you now are using. The miracles of life depend on the thoughts of your own choosing. In a moment, God responds to a perfect faith in prayer. There's instant reaction, spontaneous action. Believe it, and lo, it's there. In the twinkling of an eye, you can change the world around you. Your thoughts become the world you seek, and the loved one that's around you. In the twinkling of an eye, you respond to how you pray. For God's love enfolds you, sustains and upholds you, right now on a bright beauty.
So we just want you to take your love offerings and we bless it as we prepare to leave. Your love offering blessing is on the screen. You may just hold your hands to your heart and know that you are blessed as you give up yourself to a cause which is spreading truth and helping to elevate mankind. So, our blessing, loving you, I give. Joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father, and so it is. And we just want to, before our closing prayer, just remind you of all the wonderful things that are taking place in our church. Reverend John, although he's on holiday, Spirit doesn't take holiday. He continues in the mornings at 6 o'clock from his garden to bless us on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And this Tuesday, our spiritual healing service, we're going to listen to thoughts from Dr. Ernest Holmes titled, Let God Do It. And we have a break from our classes this Thursday, on Tuesday as well. But we will, I think this is the week when we are going to have our, is this when we're going to have Junior Young? Is going to be speaking, yes?
Last
yes,
Thursday.
on Thursday, yes. So tune in at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Prayer Power will continue at 5, but tune in. And of course, remember, next week, Sunday, same time, same place. And we know as we go, we just bless ourselves. We bless ourselves by knowing that God, the living Spirit Almighty, which brought us here, is that which created us out of itself for a unique and beautiful purpose, to live through us magnificently, to allow us to negotiate all the waters of life and see beyond the moment and see the vision for which we have come, to live the life more abundantly as Jesus the Master has told us. We go now resolved to be clear in our vision of what we offer to life, to allow joy to have its way through us, to project itself into being, and allow it to mute anything that appears to be unlike itself. As we walk this path gloriously, magnificently, we walk in peace, and we walk with full spiritual stature, knowing that God is all there is, and therefore we give thanks for this truth. And let it be so. And so it is. I'm going to ask you, since we continue with this month of celebration, to sing the national anthem of Jamaica.
Bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, aid and grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be yours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us, the weak to cherish. Give us vision, lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be yours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Peace and love.